In 2018, I went through a pretty bad breakup, and I'd been 2 years clean at this point. And about a week after the breakup, I was stressed, I was anxious, and I relapsed. And as if by the worst possible timing, I'd also booked a holiday to Las Vegas with my sister and some friends. But as I've said before, I was never really interested in casino games. I was a sports bettor. And I got there a day before my sister and friends arrived. And you walk into the sportsbook section at the casino, and if you've ever been, you know what I mean. There's dozens of TV screens showing various different sports, different matches. And I thought, okay, I'm going to take my pick. And I saw on the top left corner, there was a dog Olympic sport. I don't know what it's called, but basically it was a dog running and jumping off a platform into water, and it had to grab a ball that was hanging over the water. And what you were betting on is individual dogs and whether they were going to be able to actually get the ball. And I thought, that sounds absolutely mental. Let's place a bet on it. Now, luckily in this instance, I already had most of my money placed on a bet on the football. So I could only place a few £100s on this, but a few £100s on a jumping dog is crazy. And I actually won my bet, and I 2x'd my money, and I took all of it and I put it straight onto the football match that I'd already had all of my other money on. Now, Vegas being behind the UK's time zone, it meant that the football matches were super early the next morning. So I thought, I'm going to wake up and I'm going to see that I've won. I didn't even follow the scores. I had huge sums of money on it and I didn't even follow them. So what I did was decided to go clubbing, and I got completely wasted, and I thought, if I don't have to think about this tonight, I can just go and have fun, then I'm not going to stress about it. And that's exactly what I did. And I got back to my hotel room at 3 a.m. and I just passed out. And then I woke up at about 12 p.m. feeling so disgusting, so groggy, so hungover. And I checked my phone and I'd lost everything. And I hadn't even had a chance to cash out. I hadn't even had a chance to follow along and feel that rush that you used to get from gambling. I didn't get any of that because I placed a bet on a match that I wasn't even able to watch. I had to always have a bet on at all times. And my sister and friends arrived the next day, and I was just a complete shell. I'd lost a huge amount of money. And I couldn't talk to them. I wasn't myself. I was low mood, low energy, monotone voice. I just couldn't bear facing anyone. And it wasn't until years later that I told them what I was going through at that time, that I'd relapsed, that I was betting at that point. They thought that I was clean, and they thought I was clean for a long time after that. I hid it well, and gamblers do hide it well. If you ever see someone in your life who you even slightly suspect might have a gambling problem, there's a very good chance they do. It's more rife than you think. Gamblers hide it well, and they'll be in denial themselves, but it's not until much later that they may realize that they have a serious problem. Check in on your friends.